Okay, so you're thinking about Marbella, huh? Real estate on the Spanish coast. Sun, beaches, maybe some profit. I get it.
Mm.
But before you go villa shopping, let's look at this article. It's from a luxury firm there called Elite Villas Marbella, and it's called "What to Know Before Investing in Marbella Real Estate in 2025." So we're going to do a deep dive into this, see what they think is important, before jumping into the market.
It's interesting, because Marbella isn't just any coastal city. It's Costa del Sol, right?
Yeah.
That area is known for, well, attracting a wealthy international crowd. So that creates a unique real estate market, something we need to understand.
Yeah, and they really seem to be pushing the whole luxury thing, high-end villas, premium rentals, catering to a specific, well, clientele.
Right, and that focus on luxury, we're seeing that in other markets as well. Affluent buyers, they're increasingly interested in luxury real estate, partly lifestyle, partly diversifying investments. And Marbella, with its reputation for exclusivity, well, it fits right into that trend.
And exclusivity usually means higher demand, which, leads to higher prices. The article's even predicting significant appreciation in property values for 2025,
Yeah.
especially for those luxury properties.
Exactly. Limited supply, you have rising demand, prices go up. That's part of what makes real estate so attractive, especially in stable markets.
Yeah.
Like Marbella, it can be a way to, well, protect your wealth from inflation.
Oh, even if everything else is getting more expensive, your property value, it could hold steady or even increase.
That's the idea. Of course, nothing's guaranteed, but historically, real estate's been pretty reliable. A hedge against inflation.
Now, the article also mentions rental income potential. With Marbella being such a popular tourist destination, I can see the appeal.
Absolutely. Short-term rentals, especially through those platforms like Airbnb, have become a really popular strategy.
Hmm.
And a place like Marbella, with its, year-round appeal, could generate some consistent rental income. But of course, there are always things to think about, right? Before jumping into any investment. The article highlights one I think is particularly important.
Okay, I'm all ears. What is it?
They emphasize a data-driven approach. They really stress that. Elite Villas Marbella, I mean. They talk about understanding buyer preferences through analytics and using that to target your marketing. You need to know your ideal buyer is before trying to, well, sell them a high-end property.
Makes sense, but what kind of data are we talking about? And how can an individual investor even use this information?
Well, they're referring to demographics, search trends, even social media activity. Analyze all that, and you can identify those emerging markets, see what amenities or features are in high demand, and then you tailor your marketing, reach the right buyers.
So it's about being strategic, really understanding the market. It's not just about finding a beautiful property. It's about understanding, well, who wants it and why.
Precisely. And there are other crucial things to consider, especially if you're new to investing in Spain.
Like what else should we be thinking about?
Well, the legal side of things, tax implications of buying property in Spain, it can be complex. You don't want to jump in without understanding those regulations and the potential costs.
Yeah. So consulting with a lawyer, maybe a tax advisor specializing in Spanish real estate law.
Absolutely. They can guide you, make sure you're complying with everything, and help structure your investment, the best way possible.
That's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, right? Owning a piece of paradise.
Yeah.
But we can't forget the practical side.
Exactly. Due diligence is key in any real estate investment, especially in a foreign market.
Okay, so we've talked about Marbella's appeal, the
Yeah.
luxury market, potential for rental income, data-driven decisions, and the need for legal and tax expertise. Anything else this article's highlighting?
Yeah. There's another layer to this luxury market I think is worth exploring. It's how they present these properties to potential buyers. It's not just glossy brochures anymore.
Oh, you mean like those virtual tours, the drone footage you see everywhere? Those are pretty impressive, I have to admit.
Exactly. Capturing that Marbella lifestyle. Selling an experience, not just a property. Imagine, you put on a VR headset, you're virtually walking through this beachfront villa, you feel the sun, hear the waves.
That's amazing. Like you're already there. I could see how that would be, so appealing to buyers, especially if they can't visit in person.
It's a game changer for luxury real estate marketing. More accessible and maybe even more desirable.
So we've got luxury, potential ROI, the data-driven approach, and these innovative marketing techniques. But I am curious, what about the current economic climate? How does that play into all this?
That's a great question. And it's something the article touches on. They talk about real estate as an inflation-resistant investment, which is, well, particularly relevant today.
Right. We've all seen what inflation can do. to savings, purchasing power.
Yeah.
How does real estate act as a hedge against that? Is it just because property values tend to, rise over time?
It's a combination of things. First, like we discussed, limited supply and rising demand that drives up property values. Second, rental income that can also act as a hedge. As the cost of goods and services rises, so can your rental income, potentially offsetting those inflationary pressures.
There's like a built-in protection against rising prices.
Uh-huh.
I'm starting to see why this is so appealing to investors. But of course, there are always risks, right, with any investment.
Of course,
It's
nothing's ever guaranteed. But if you understand the market, you do your due diligence, you make informed decisions, you can mitigate those risks, increase your chances of success. That's where reliable data and expert advice come in.
Speaking of expert advice, the article also emphasizes understanding the legal and tax stuff. Investing in Spain, that's where things could get, well, tricky, especially if you're unfamiliar with the Spanish system.
Absolutely. Navigating that legal and tax landscape in a foreign country, it can be complex. You need to be aware of things like property taxes, capital gains taxes, any legal requirements specific to, well, foreign buyers.
So it seems like having a good lawyer, a good tax advisor on your team is essential to guide you, make sure you're making, informed choices.
Exactly. Local expertise can save you a lot of headaches, potentially a lot of money in the long run.
Okay, so while Marbella's allure is strong, it's a serious investment. You have to be prepared, approach it with a good understanding of the market, the legal framework.
Precisely. Balance the excitement of owning a piece of paradise with the pragmatism of making a sound financial decision.
We've covered a lot so far. Luxury market, potential ROI, the importance of data, due diligence, legal and tax stuff. What else is there to unpack from this article?
Well, there's one more fascinating aspect that we haven't touched on yet, perhaps the most intriguing piece of the puzzle.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's the concept of market cycles and how understanding those can give investors a real advantage.
Now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
The article, it talks about Elite Villas Marbella's approach, to navigating these economic cycles. This is where things get really interesting for investors.
I'm ready. What are economic cycles? And how can understanding them, well, impact real estate investments?
Think of them like waves. We have those periods of economic expansion, then periods of contraction, maybe even recession. These cycles, they influence interest rates, consumer confidence, and yeah, real estate markets.
So if you're thinking about investing in real estate, timing could, well, significantly affect your returns.
Absolutely. Buy at the peak of a cycle, you risk overpaying. But if you can identify those periods of growth early, or even better, find undervalued properties during a downturn, your potential return much higher.
That makes sense. But how can you predict these cycles? Sounds like, well, trying to predict the stock market.
It's not an exact science, no, but there are indicators, trends to watch. Interest rate changes, government policies, even global events, those all play a role. The key is staying informed about those larger trends, macroeconomic trends.
So it's not just about understanding Marbella, it's about this broader view
Yeah.
of the global economic landscape.
Exactly. Connecting the dots, seeing that bigger picture, and then anticipating how those, well, larger trends might affect your investment in Marbella.
Elite Villas Marbella, they mention aligning their strategies with these cycles. Sounds like they're trying to, well, provide their clients with an advantage by leveraging that knowledge.
That's right. They're positioning themselves, it seems, as experts, helping investors navigate these complexities and make decisions, informed decisions, based on that deeper understanding of the market cycles.
Okay, so we've got the luxury market, potential ROI, the data-driven approach, legal and tax stuff, and now this strategic advantage of understanding economic cycles. That's a lot.
It is. But this deep dive, it's showing us that investing in Marbella, it's not just about buying property. It's about understanding those global trends, the local dynamics, and then making, smart decisions based on all that.
It's like a puzzle, almost. Each piece is crucial to seeing the complete picture. We're really starting to understand the complexity of this market.
And there's a lot of potential in Marbella. We've seen that, but it's not a passive investment. It takes informed choices, strategic timing, and a clear vision, of your goals.
So for anyone listening thinking seriously about investing in Marbella, what are the key takeaways from this article? What should they remember as they, well, begin their research?
I'd say the key points are, the strength of that luxury market, the potential for ROI, the absolute necessity of due diligence, and that strategic advantage we talked about, understanding market cycles. But the most important thing, perhaps, is to have a vision. What do you want to achieve with this investment? Is it a vacation home, a long-term rental, something else entirely?
That's a great point. Define your goals and then make sure your investment, well, it aligns with those.
Hmm.
And of course, don't be afraid to get advice, expert advice. There's a lot to learn. And the right guidance, it can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And beyond the financial side of things, there's a certain appeal, right, to owning a piece of this beautiful region.
I agree. Marbella's allure is, well, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
But as with any investment, you have to approach it with enthusiasm, but also a healthy dose of pragmatism. Understanding the market, doing your research, making informed decisions, those will be key to success.
Well said. And with that in mind, let's move on to what I think is the most fascinating takeaway from this article. A surprising insight, actually, that Elite Villas Marbella they highlight.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
What is this surprising insight? You mentioned a surprising insight from Elite Villas Marbella. What did they share that stood out?
It's their perspective on sustainability and its growing importance in luxury real estate, I mean.
Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't necessarily associate luxury with sustainability. What's the connection?
Well, it seems affluent buyers are becoming more environmentally conscious. They're looking for properties that aren't just, well, luxurious, but also eco-friendly, energy efficient.
So aligning luxury with responsible living, that makes sense. Especially with, all the awareness around climate change, the desire for more sustainable lifestyles.
Exactly. And Elite Villas Marbella, they seem to be recognizing this shift. They're highlighting features like solar panels, geothermal heating, sustainable building materials as key selling points for their properties.
So they're incorporating sustainability into that luxury experience. It sounds like they're, well, adapting
Yeah.
to the changing preferences of their clients.
Right. They're not just building those lavish villas anymore. They're building homes that are both, opulent, A&D, environmentally responsible. It's about appealing to a new generation of luxury buyers who value sustainability, well, as much as they value luxury.
That's a fascinating insight. It seems like sustainability is, well, it's no longer a niche concern. It's becoming a mainstream expectation, even in the luxury real estate market.
I agree, it's a trend, and it's likely to just keep growing in the coming years.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this article, from Elite Villas Marbella, what are the key takeaways, for a listener who's thinking about investing in Marbella real estate?
I'd say, remember first, Marbella is a luxury market driven by international buyers. Due diligence is, well, it's crucial, especially when it comes to the legal and tax side of things. Leveraging data, staying informed about those market cycles can give you a real advantage. And finally, recognize that sustainability is becoming a really important factor in the luxury real estate market, I mean.
Excellent points. We've covered a lot of ground here, from the allure of luxury to the practicalities of investing in a foreign market.
And we've seen that investing in Marbella, it's not just about, well, buying a property, it's about understanding a complex market, a dynamic market, and making smart choices that fit your goals.
Well said.
Yeah.
So for you, the listener, if you're considering Marbella, remember, do your research,
Mhm.
seek out expert advice, and most importantly, define what you want to achieve
Yeah.
with your investment.
And as you explore this exciting market, keep in mind that owning a piece of Marbella, a place where, well, luxury and sustainability are kind of converging, it could be more than just a financial investment. It could be an investment in a lifestyle, a future that reflects your values.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Marbella real estate. Until next time.